Paradise's population reveal hints that the sci-fi Hulu show might be heading toward a dark ending. Initially presented as a political thriller about the fallout of the president's assassination, Paradise has steadily revealed itself to actually be set in a world where the remnants of the United States government try to survive after an unseen event destroyed much of the planet. While there were billions of people on Earth previously, only slightly over 200,000 seem to have survived as part of the remaining American city, including Paradise's main characters. For the most part, the show has remained focused on a specific group of characters who were within the orbit of President Carl Bradford before his death. However, the show has also been quietly teasing out more details about the setting, including just how many people made it to the domed city. As confirmed in the 4th episode of the show, Agent Billy Pace, it's a surprisingly small number for an entire population. This means that a number of factors could risk destroying what remains of Paradise's population after the end of the world, and could be pushing the show towards a grim conclusion. Only 25,000 people live in Paradise's city. Paradise confirms that only a few towns worth of people made it to the domed city. Billy Pace, John Beavers, and Xavier Collins, Sterling Kate Brown, talking at night and in front of carnival flags in Paradise Season 1, Episode 4. Image via Hulu. Paradise's 4th episode, Agent Billy Pace, confirms that only 25,000 people live in the domed community, which could set up a very grim fate for the community. As soon as Paradise revealed that it was a sci-fi show about the potential last American city following a cataclysmic event, there was some ambiguity to how large the community really was. Openly compared to some small cities, Paradise still referenced the overall lack of people by noting that within a century, the population size would have to become concerned with potential inbreeding. This suggested the population was limited, meaning the community would have an eventual cap on how far they could expand or how many generations could actually survive in the city. While it seems that they've found plant-based alternatives for most meat products and they've stocked up on massive supplies of goods like alcohol, there may be a limit on how many supplies they really have on hand. While their population does exceed a small town or city, that population size being somewhat capped means there are a lot of major risks to their ability to last forever in the domed city. Paradise's small population means long-term survivability is risky. The near future may become impossible for Paradise's city. Sinatra, Julianne Nicholson, talking to Billy, John Beavers, in Paradise Season 1, Episode 4. Image via Hulu. There are a lot of potential complications for the people trapped in the domed city, especially if they are unable to evacuate the area. Long-term survivability has been called into question due to the population size, which could ultimately fail to keep enough internal diversity to maintain a healthy community. On top of that, the relatively contained space and tight population clusters mean any disease outbreak could quickly overtake the town. The population size can't take much of a hit to maintain their present output, meaning an outbreak could severely hamper or even destroy the community. There's also the possibility of infighting, which could divide the survivors and pit them openly against one another. This is already starting to happen in Paradise, with people like Xavier Collins investigating the upper crust and Billy Pace openly defying Redmond. Although this attitude gets the latter killed, it's increasingly likely that Collins will not back down from his suspicions about Redmond. This kind of internal strife could get a lot of people killed, which in turn could hurt the long-term viability of the community under the dome. The world might not be dead in Paradise. How the population reveals teases a dark ending. Paradise could explore the hope and dangers still alive on the surface. Paradise further complicated the situation by revealing that people may have survived on the Earth. The scientists sent to the surface by President Bradford did find that the oxygen is breathable and that life is actually finding ways to adapt to the changes in the environment caused by the still unseen catastrophe. On the one hand, this means that there might be more communities that the domed city could interact with. In theory, this could answer the question about long-term viability, especially if the people in the domed city were able to communicate and coordinate with surface communities. However, Redmond is understandably wary about the risks that come with opening up the city to the surface. As she explains to Billy Pace, the survivors on the surface could see the domed city as a resource-rich space that's ripe for the taking, setting up a potential war with the surface that the domed city might not be able to win. There's also the chance the population could dwindle as people seek out their loved ones on potentially doomed quests to the surface. Paradise has been steadily revealed how grim the situation on Earth really is, and could be heading to a dark ending.